Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, land of 3 rivers, 19 bridges, and host to 20 world leaders, including President Obama. Now, the job of securing and protecting those world leaders during the G20 summit rested squarely on the shoulders of the Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Customs and Border Protection. A city with American industrial roots and hard-working character, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania welcomed the world for 2 days in September. Held in downtown Pittsburgh between the banks of the Allegheny, Monongahela, and Ohio rivers, the new and environmentally sound David L. Lawrence Convention Center was the meeting location for the world leaders attending the G20 summit who came to discuss world economic issues. The G20 summit was a national special security event, meaning the Department of Homeland Security assigns the United States Secret Service as the lead federal agency to protect President Obama and all of the other world leaders at the summit. By implementing an operational security plan, federal, state, and local law enforcement personnel put the plan in action that includes securing checkpoints, stopping prohibited items from entering the secure zone, providing airspace security, and providing waterway security. Part of that plan requires U.S. Customs and Border Protection to secure the perimeter of the restricted zone downtown Pittsburgh. 200 CBP officers and agents arrived in Pittsburgh and were briefed on their responsibilities, sworn in as deputies for the event, issued radios, then sent off to man their posts.
Our team's going to be assisting with support at the vehicle checkpoints at 7th and Grant, and also with the emergency egress route at Business Way and Liberty.
We're used to working by ourselves, and so working with local PD in this type of environment is going to be completely different. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be very different than what I'm used to.
Those will be our posts. Any questions so far?
Establishing a mobile communication center about 20 miles west of downtown provided officers and agents secure communications during the event.
We have a mobile command post to ensure that we have communications back to headquarters, to the network, and to our officers out in the field. We're providing communications capabilities so we can maintain liaison with our officers in the field that are detailed to Secret Service, so we can ensure their safety. If they cannot communicate with Secret Service, they can communicate with us.
Joining forces with more than 5,000 federal, state, and local law enforcement officers, CBP agents worked shoulder to shoulder with all command and control operators at the Multi-Agency Communication Center, bringing unique command and control skills to the operation. At a different type of port of entry, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers are still protecting people. Only this time, it's world leaders. With unique skills in entry control security, CBP officers put their daily skills to work, securing the front line of the summit.
Working with Secret Service and the U.S. Marshals is a great experience. I get to learn their procedures and policy and how they operate, and hopefully I can take some of that knowledge back with me to the port, and it'll help make me a better contribution to CBP.
Urban protests are outside of the norm for what Customs and Border Protection officers and agents deal with on a daily basis. But these were the kinds of challenges officers and agents faced here at the G20 summit.
G20! G20! Financing! Supporting! Ignorance in Africa!
The joint law enforcement operation also allowed for a secure environment for protesters to safely exercise their right to assemble and express their opinions of world economic conditions, at the same time protecting G20 attendees and Pittsburgh businesses and citizens.
We went without incident, and we had some pretty important people from other countries coming here to enjoy themselves, and because of the presence of the Homeland Security, we had 0 incidents.
With a strong industrial past, steady upward movement, and a well-coordinated law enforcement force, Pittsburgh proved to be an ideal location for the G20 summit. As Pittsburgh has transitioned from a town with an industrial base to a town with a business, finance, high technology, and green technology base, Pittsburgh also proved to be a great host for the G20 summit as well as a great host for the federal law enforcement agencies. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I'm Michael Pope for CBP Frontline News.